just muttering away really to myself. I'm here in New York. It's an absolutely beautiful and a fabulous and a wonderful, wonderful sunny day today. How are we doing there, Chris? Am I live?
You are live.
Right. Good morning, everybody. I've been just chuntering away to myself because there's like this little delay on this thing that we're using. Tiny little delay. So I just mutter away just in case anybody can actually hear me, but who knows if you can or if you can't. Anyway, we are, I do believe, live now, and so let's begin. So first of all, I'd like to say good morning to my spirit guide, Grey Eagle, who is standing to my right side. Usually at this point I mention my puppy Cachorro, but I can't because he's in Florida and I'm here in New York City. My daughter and my grandson were out of the door this morning at 7:30 to go swimming. They'll be back in a little while, probably after we finish this show, but anyway, it's a beautiful sunny day here. The sun is shining so brightly. I'm having such a blast with my daughter and with my grandson, who is just fabulous. And I'm sure all of you grandparents out there feel the same about your grandchildren. And I feel so blessed for that. And also I'd like to say this morning, good morning to my friend Chris, who is helping us out this morning because Michelle is again not available. Don't worry, everybody, she's okay. She's just not available right now. Say good morning, Chris.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay, I don't know how well you all can hear her, but she's on one little implement and I'm on another little implement. So I can see that the questions are coming in. Now, before we really, begin to look at the questions, if I can just say this to you. We've had some issues, some difficulties with the questions and not being able to scroll, not being able to go back and forth. So if you ask a question today, please, would you be patient with us because we're having trouble with the scrolling part of it. If for any reason we can't scroll up to find a question that we know people have asked, if you've asked a question and we don't get to it, please email me, rosemary@rosemaryontair.com, and we'll do our very, 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 very best to bring it up on our next show. So, so there's always opportunities. And we may even bring up your question on our Saturday morning when we do our story time. So without further ado, I can see we've got masses and masses of people. Chris, I don't know if you can see that, but we've got loads and loads of people coming in here and asking questions. So why don't you begin with the first one? How about that?
All right. Annie says, Rosemary, I am supposed to get the news this week on this loan. Please, will this loan come through? COVID put me in a bit of a hole.
Annie, you'll be fine. That's all I can say. We've addressed this before, I do believe, and I do understand why you're nervous, but I promise you, you will not be destitute and it all will work out as it's meant to. So please, these are the moments. It's very hard, isn't it? We have faith, we believe, but to live our faith and to actually be able to hold firm and to trust and to not panic is a very, very difficult thing. But Annie, darling, I think you'll be fine. Yeah, Chris.
Michelle says, I keep asking Spirit for a trip to America.
Good morning,
Michelle. She's
Michelle.
asking, will that happen?
It will if you save your money, my lovely. Here's what you have to do, and it's so hard. But I'll tell you a little story. This story is about when I was a lot younger, no money whatsoever. Husband who cleared off, taking everything out of the bank and leaving me literally destitute with my daughter, I might say. And it was so very hard and we could barely eat. I mean, really, I would literally stand over her watching her eat fish fingers, or as they say in American fish sticks, and sort of drool a bit, hoping that she might leave some so I can have something to eat for dinner. And although I'm laughing about it, I'm not really exaggerating. That is the truth. So I'm fully aware of what it's like to have hardship, and I'm fully aware of what it's like to really, really struggle. But my lovely Michelle, if you really want something, no matter what it is, you can find a penny or two or 5 or 10 or something. And what I tried to do was, as I started to work a little bit more, I would make sure that every single week, without fail, I would put something in the bank. And that something might have just been a penny or 2 pennies. It might have been 5 pennies. And I'm not telling you fibs when I say this. It could have been $1. If it was $1, I was really excited. And what happens week after week, you see it grow. You see things start to happen. And I remember when it took me a long time to reach my first £1,000. Can you imagine going from nothing, from poverty, to having £1,000 in the bank? And I refused to touch it until I'd got the money that I needed in the bank. And then my very first thought, when I finally hit that mark, and I have to tell you, it took me months. I kept almost 1,000, and I'd have to pay a bill, back down again, almost 1,000, back down to pay another bill. Eventually I made it, and my very, very first thought after I'd got that money was, okay, now for the next 1,000. Don't think it was easy by any means. It took me a long, long time. But after that, I continued saving. So, my lovely, if you want something, if you want to come to America, get your pennies sorted out, even if it's a 5-penny piece at a time. Start saving. If you have a goal in mind and you want to do something, then you can do it. But it's your effort and nobody else's. So can you keep me posted and let me know how you do? Right, Chris?
Right. Somebody with a name of name says, will I ever have love? I'm 33.
I'll say blithely, but not glibly. I'll say actually yes, but you need to do some stuff in order to get yourself out there and get on with it. And it will not come to you. You have got to go towards it. So if you do that and you sort of move forward with your life and you start, taking actions rather than sitting at home and waiting for it, you will find it. But doing what you're doing right now, it doesn't look very good, does it? So get yourself out there and start looking. Chris?
Cheryl says, good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
On my birthday, I was hoping to find my 2 favorite things, chocolate and coconut. Hard to find them together, but walked in the store and mini pie, chocolate coconut.
I love those things. Well, here's what you
thank you to the spirit world.
Here's what you can do. You can always do this, which is what I do for Christmas time. I actually melt chocolate. I get some really nice. Actually, I love dark chocolate, so I get really nice chocolate. I melt it in a pan. I use little sort of square molds, not big ones necessarily. I line them with parchment paper, and I pour the chocolate into them, and then I'll chop up nuts or raisins. I can't eat. I'm not allowed nuts. So chocolate. So you do raisins or whatever, but you can also do shredded coconut and pour that in there. Not too much, but I pour it in. Pour the chocolate in the molds, let it set for maybe, I don't know, half an hour. Pour the coconut on the top so it stays on the top. Pop it in the fridge till it's nice and firm and chunky and crisp. Oh, it sounds so good. Maybe I'll do that today. And there you have your own thing. There you have it. And you can make them in discs like the French do. You can make them in squares. Just make mine in squares, and every Christmas I make a few squares, bit like bars, big bars actually. Then I wrap them up, and I give one to my daughter, one to my grandson. Of course, I have one for myself, and and anybody else who's around if there's any spare going over. So you can do that. Mendiants, they're called mendiants. If they're the little round, delicate round things, these are just chocolate bars, and you'll love to do. So easy to do. Don't forget to line with parchment paper, though, otherwise you won't be able to get the chocolate out of the mold. Chris.
Wordy says, I'm new in England. My husband left me. I'm without a job and supported by an organization. Will I have a job soon?
Oh, my darling. Poor you. You know what we're going to do, Chris? We're going to put this lovely lady on the healing list. We're going to be sending you some healing. Have courage, darling. You will find a job. I think that whatever organisation it is that you're with, I've got Grey Eagle's hand on my shoulder. You'll do it. You'll do it. It'll work out. Don't worry too much. I'm very, very sorry that you're in this pickle right now, but you'll do it. You don't worry. Keep going, Chris. And email us, darling. Let us know how you do.
Wendy's on. She says, good morning.
Good morning.
What happened to the competition results? Our advice that we have given and received?
Well, here's the thing. Michelle is on a sort of a hiatus. We did actually announce the winners. We are sending out the prizes. They're on my mind very much so. And when I get Michelle back, which I'm hoping to do, we are going to read out some of the advice, but please don't think we've forgotten about you, because we haven't. And thank you, Wendy, for the reminder. But it was actually on my mind this morning. It's been on my mind actually often over the last few days. So, you know, we will get to it, I promise you. But Michelle is on a kind of a hiatus right now, so we're just being patient and waiting for her to get back to us. Right, Chris.
Michelle responded. She said, good afternoon from England. They have always been good to me. Spirit bless. And what you said makes sense. Times have been hard, but I remain positive and determined.
Good. I'm so glad. It's so hard, isn't it, when you're down, and especially when you're down and out, which means you've got no money, you're really struggling, or you're afraid to spend the money that you do have, because because especially in times like we have now, who knows when we're going to be needing money, and it's tough, but you can do it. I know that you can, Michelle. Every faith in you whatsoever.
And then Annie also responded. She says, I'm going to do that, Rosemary. Every payday I will put a little away.
Oh God. Just, even if it's only a little bit, and make sure that is your America fund, or that is, in my case, it was my backup fund, because I was on my own. I had a child to take care of. We had no money. All of my money was stolen by my husband. What a wonderful life I did have. But look at me. Here I am now. And, that unfortunately, that scenario's happened to me 3 times. But we deal with it. We live with it. Get on with it. Chris, yes, how are we doing?
Good. Star Tarot says,
Morning, Star
Hi,
Tarot.
Rosemary.
Hi.
My mom, Maureen, died 2 years ago, and I don't feel her. I feel she's not in heaven, and it's really worrying me.
Oh, darling.
Please, do you know if she's okay?
I actually have Grey Eagle's hand on my shoulder when we're talking about this. The first thing I have to do is to tell you not to worry. I'm listening to Grey Eagle. I don't think that it's... Wait a minute, let me do this again. I don't think it's that your mother isn't there. I think that you are so much in grief right now, and nervous, and perhaps afraid for her, that you're sort of inadvertently you're blocking, and we do that. We put up a wall and we block, and then it's more difficult for our loved ones to tap us on the shoulder. Not that, I mean, they do tap us on the shoulder, but it's more difficult for us to feel them, to sense them, and for them to be around us. But I can tell you absolutely, she is in the light. Grey Eagle is telling me that, so I've got no qualms about telling you that. She is in the light, and don't worry, because when it's the right time, when you are ready, she will make herself known to you. Oh, and in your dreams, and she will come to you, my lovely, in your dreams. Please let us know. Don't try so hard. Don't worry so much. She is, I promise she's fine. She's safe. Chris.
Elizabeth from Italy says, I want to know what my grandmother Hannah thinks of me, if she's happy with my life path. She followed me until I was 23. Now I'm 48. Thank you very much.
Well, I can tell you that she is right with you. You know this. Why are you asking me a question you know the answer to? You know this. She is overjoyed, actually, at the moment, I'm told, and this is coming from Grey Eagle. She's overjoyed right now because you have shifted. You've moved your path or changed your path over the recent months, and things have shifted for you, and you've got a better handle on things, apparently. So I think your family and spirit world and your grandmother, all of them, and I think they're really, really joyful for you and walk with you. As you know that. Why are you asking me that? You know that. Chris.
Paige is on.
Good morning.
Mother was an exceptional medium and healer. She introduced me to your first two books.
Who was? I'm sorry?
Her mother.
Yes.
When she passed in 1999, I had the honor of meeting you in 2000 in New York City. You signed my book and told me to follow my dreams.
Oh, right. This is interesting.
I would love to read the rest of it, but it just scrolled down and I can't access it. So
can you send us the rest of it, Paige? We'd love to hear the rest of it. Can you resend it for us? Because we have this trouble all the time. We can't scroll up and down. We sort of can get to a certain point and then we lose everything, and it doesn't give us a chance. We love this thing. We love Restream. They do a really great job, but I think that because they are new, there are certain glitches, and I think they're not even aware of. So we're going to let them know the struggles that we are having with this. But anyway, please do it again for us. Send the rest of it. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Okay, Chris.
There's just a comment that I'm going to skip over. Hi, Rosemary. I'm a teacher in Canada, concerned about the new school year. Appreciate you sending good energy. Have followed you for a long time. Saw you twice in Canada and went to your place in Vermont. Thank you for all you do. This is Pam.
Oh, darling, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'd love to know whereabouts in Canada you are.
Cheryl says, what happens to famous people on the other side? Do they still have fans there, or do they kind of become like everyone else?
Well, they are like everybody else, aren't they? I mean, they're already like everybody else. But they just do a job, or they have a position that, the rest of us find intriguing and so on. And I think it depends. I mean, a lot of famous people, let me just get rid of that, sorry. A lot of famous people choose to live their lives privately, and maybe that's what they'll do. Or maybe, wouldn't it be fun to think that when we go to the spirit world, we can still have rock concerts and do all that sort of thing? I think it's up to the individual. But interesting question. What I've not been asked before. Yes, Chris.
Pat says, my husband passed recently and I am so lonely. Will I be alone for the rest of my life?
Well, darling, I'm going to say something to you which I just said to somebody else earlier on. I know how hard it is. The grief is sometimes overwhelming and it tends to freeze us. We're embarrassed to go out. We're embarrassed to find friends. But you need to join a group or get yourself involved with a group who really, really, really can absolutely draw you in, befriend you. And that way, yes, you will find other people. You will find friends. There's no need for you to be alone. I think you know that, but it's just the act of doing it, isn't it? Joining something or being out there and being vulnerable. But I promise you, if you dare to step out and you dare to spread your wings a little bit, you will absolutely find joy in your life. I promise you that. Chris.
Jean says, hi, Rosemary. I thought when I was sleeping a few nights ago that there was a spirit at the end of my bed.
Is that it?
That's it.
That's it. Well, our loved ones in the spirit world often come to us, and it's in that, it's amazing to me, but it's in that sort of that half awake, half asleep state when people do come to us. And when I think what it is we are, because we're in that sort of mid state there, our defenses are down, our walls are down, we're much more receptive and we're much more able to see and to sense. So I would say it's very, very likely that you had a visitor, and also I believe that it's very, very likely that it's someone who loves you and has been trying to say hello to you for a long time. So don't be scared. Just embrace it and be joyful, because a visit from the spirit world is something that all of us look forward to. Chris.
Charlene is very concerned for you.
Sorry, what?
I'm going to read you Charlene.
Okay.
She wants you to know Jesus Christ loves you and wants to heal you. The spirit world is true. You're tapping into demon spirit. The dead sleep, they are not here. The only thing that is here is demons and dark angels. This is the work of the enemy. This is witchcraft. You are tapping into the work of the devil.
Okay, I think we've heard enough of that, but I will answer. I'm glad that you say that Jesus loves me, because I know very well that he does. From the age of 2 years old, my mother used to send us to the Methodist church, probably not the one that you go to, my darling, but just as beautiful, just as wonderful, and just as glorious. And I learned all about Christ. I learned all about the joys and the wonder of Christ. And I absolutely, without a doubt, know that Jesus loves me, because he's loved me. I've known him since I was 2. And that's a long, long time to know somebody. And when I have needed him, he has been there. When I have been giving people healing, he's laid his hands over mine. Are there demons? Are there dark forces? You betcha there are. But not in my life and not in my world. Absolutely not. Because I won't allow it. It's not going to happen. Because I have faith. For all of you out there who are wondering about this, when I first began to work as a spiritual medium, my one major concern, my biggest concern was, am I doing anything which is against God? Am I doing anything which is against the light? Am I doing anything against the universe? Am I being influenced by, demons and all the rest of it? And I mentioned earlier on about the times that we're going through right now, and I said, we all have faith, but living your faith is a whole different thing, and sometimes we have to have courage to be able to live our faith. Well, guess what, my lovelies? I live my faith, because I asked God and I asked Christ, if this is something that I should not be doing, please put blocks in my way. Stop me from doing this. Please stop me from doing this. If it is something that I should not be doing. Rather than stopping me, they have encouraged me. Now, I know people have their own beliefs, and I'm not going to be disparaging of your beliefs, and I would rather you weren't disparaging of mine, especially on my show. I do appreciate your concern and your love, and I do appreciate you telling me that Christ loves me, but I know that. So we're all happy, and that's the end of that. Chris, keep going. Let's have another one.
Adrian says, good morning.
Good morning, Adrian.
My cousin's husband just in a really bad motorcycle accident. He has major face injuries and a head injury. Will he be okay? What does his future look like?
Well, first of all, what we're going to do is we are going to put him on the healing list, and I think it's too difficult a situation to say. I can tell you absolutely that he's going to be okay, but I tell all of my patients that they're going to be okay. Whether or not he survives this, he's going to be okay because we all go to the light, and he, I'm sure, has his angels around him. What I would really love you to do, if you would please, my darling, is if you could email me and let me know how he's doing, because we're going to be sending him healing. It's a difficult thing, because I really, on this show, in this moment, just like that, I am not going to I don't want to give you false hope, and I don't want to dash your hopes. I can tell you absolutely without a doubt he will be okay. Whether he's okay on this side or whether he's okay in the spirit world remains to be seen. But email me, please, and we can have a little conversation. All right, Chris.
Adriana says, ciao, Rosemary. I'm wondering if I can get a new job soon. I wasn't so lucky in the past situation.
Well, I actually don't normally say this, but boy, I think there's one on the horizon waiting for you. Whether it's what you want is a whole other thing. But I'm going to say, grab it with both hands. It will lead you to other things. So, so I suppose yes, the answer is yes, but it may not be what you want. But don't be picky, don't be choosy. And I say that to lots of you out there. You can't afford to be choosy right now. None of us can afford to be choosy or to be picky about what we're going to be doing and what we want. But we need to do this in order to take that next step. So, I think it may not be what you want. Grab it with both hands, or not. It's your choice. Grab it with both hands, and it will lead you to a better place. Yes, Chris.
Sarah's on. She said, this is what I battle, and I ask the same, Rosemary, and this is why I come to you. I am unclear what this means.
What means?
This, the word this, her comment is, this is what I battle, and I ask the same, Rosemary, and this is why I come to you. I don't know what this means.
I'm sorry, but we're a bit lost as to what you mean, my darling, and please come to me, but can you be specific? Is she maybe referring to somebody else's comment there? And if you are, you can just tell us what the this is. It may have something to do with the nice person who talked about God loves me. If you have faith, God will steer you in the right way. If you have faith and you have belief in Christ, which I do, 1,000%, 1,000%, I know that if I'm doing, well, he would have stopped me by now. I know, because I believe him. I believe in him. I believe in God. I believe in that God force. And I know that they would, stop me from doing this if it was not the right thing to do. When I see the effect that I have on others, when I see the joy of people being reunited with their loved ones, when I see the effect as a healer that I have on people, that my team has on people, there is no doubt in my mind that this is coming from a place of goodness, a place of purity, and a place of God. I also know, because I have a feeling inside of me that is purely goodness, purely God, and purely coming from God. I guess it depends how much faith you have, not necessarily in God, but how much faith you put in the fact that if it isn't right, they will show you the right way. So, okay, Chris.
Star Tarot is responding to the message you gave her. She said, thank you so much, Rosemary, for answering my question. I feel better knowing Grey Eagle has told you she will visit me in a dream Miller.
Oh gosh, I got I got something really in my ear there that was so unexpected. You have such beautiful healing hands. This is where you should guide your energies, my love. But I think you know this, and I suspect because it was so strong, it came from Grey Eagle, and I suspect somebody else who loves you too. You have the ability to heal. You have healing qualities. I think you know that. So this is the way you should go. Right, Chris.
Kayla says, "Hi, Rosemary.
Morning, Kayla.
Hope you are well. I'm trying to use my healing hands. Sometimes I close my eyes and I try to imagine a light on my head going down on my hands and try healing. Am I doing it right? Can you tell me?"
Sort of. You need to go. We've done lots of. You'll find them on Facebook and YouTube. Our Healing Hands Around the World, which we are going to continue at some point. It's difficult to continue all of these things. I already told all of you that Michelle, my assistant, is on a little bit of a hiatus right now. She's got other stuff going on in her life that she needs to attend to. So, but please go and look at Healing Hands Around the World, and you'll see. And I do describe, ways to do this. But we are also going to be having our webinars, our little workshops, and we shall certainly be having webinars on healing, where I shall be able to describe to you exactly what I feel that you can do and how you can do it, and it'll be something in the region of about a 3-hour webinar. So if you join that, you'll learn a lot. If you all want to know more about that, if you want to be on my mailing list so you know what's coming up, email me, rosemary@rosemaryantea.com. If you want to join our webinars or to be put on the list, just say that. If you want a consultation, just make sure you put in the subject line. If you simply want to be on the mailing list, you have to ask. We will not automatically put you on the mailing list unless you ask. So if you want to be on our mailing list, please ask, and we will definitely put you on our mailing list, and then you'll get notifications as to when and how we're doing it. Keep doing what you're doing, darling, but I think there's a little bit better way, and I think as all students, you could benefit from a little bit of help and guidance, and that's precisely what we're going to do. In the meantime, before the webinars come along, please go look at our shows. There are several of them, a lot of them, and I do describe how we can give healing, how we can use our energy, and also how we can visualize what it is that we need to do. So go look at those hands, Healing Hands Around the World with Rosemary Altea. That's me, of course, you know that. But try that out and see if that helps you, my lovely. Yeah, Chris.
Lori Miller comes on. I love this. She says, "Oh my gosh.
Good morning, Lori.
I've had you on my mind forever. Read your books in the past. Just happened to think, check YouTube, and here you are. So very happy."
Well, I'm so happy you're happy. And I hope you're enjoying it. Let us know if you're enjoying it. Thank you for that comment, my darling. Yeah, Chris?
Eliza says, "Rosemary, I have also realized mediumship abilities within me and had started relaying messages to people who asked. I have shied away from it. However, I felt it necessary to be mentored to discern."
Oh my gosh. Oh, what do I say to you, Eliza? What do I say to you? Be very, very careful. Very careful. The responsibility of mediumship is huge. And if you get even a little bit of something wrong, or you misunderstand, because it is very easy to misunderstand what the spirit world is telling us, it really, really is. You could, just by giving a slight variance of what the spirit world is saying, you can literally change somebody's life, and not necessarily for the better. So do please be very, very careful, my love, and make sure that you are absolutely certain. What we do as mediums is that we touch people's hearts, we affect people's lives, we can change lives. Don't do it unless you're absolutely sure that you know what you're doing, because you mustn't ever ever tell somebody what it is they should or should not do. You've got to be very circumspect, and you've got to always, at all times, remember the huge responsibility that you have as a medium, which is why I very often, when people ask questions on shows like this, it's so easy to give a glib answer. It really is. It's so easy if somebody says, I'm concerned about my mother, it's so easy to reassure them, to let them know it's okay. But I'm not about giving glib answers or quick answers, so I know that some people will be disappointed when I don't answer their questions as they think I should. Yes, of course you go ahead and do that. Yes, of course you'll get a new job. Yes, of course everything will be wonderful. I can say all of those things. I can do all of those things, but they're not necessarily true. So I'm always extremely cautious. And please, I beg of you, please be cautious before you ever give a message to anyone. Okay? All right, Chris?
Kayla said, and yesterday something funny happened to me. My new mint plant was sad in the last 3 days, and I put my hands saying it will be okay, and today it's looking better. Was it me or just luck?
No, it's called energy. What you're doing is you are transferring your beautiful healing energy, your concern for this lovely thing. You are transmitting your energy towards that, and plants respond, animals respond, insects respond. We had a dragonfly that sat on my daughter's finger, I'm going to say for at least a half an hour or so, and if not longer. And then we were wondering, did it need some healing? Naturally, I'm already giving it healing. It's on my daughter's finger, and I'm sending it my energy, and I'm sending my healing. And we had some guests here at the same time in our garden here, and it was a beautiful thing to see. So always, with plants, whatever it is, don't forget to water it as well, by the way. It's like, but what a fabulous thing to do. Good job. Well done, you. Chris.
Betta says, Dear lovely Rosemary, what do you think about indigo, child? A medium said to me that my daughter is like this kind of child. Is it a good thing or a problem?
Well, I know that, Chris, you've done a bit of research on this. I know that I'm probably going to upset some people. I'm going to tell you, I know nothing about it. I don't even know if it's real or imagined or what it is, and I'm not going to go there. I can tell you that probably your child is a special child. Does that make your child an indigo child? Not in my book, just a beautiful child, a child of God, full of light, and that's all we need to know about our children, isn't it? I think I almost said, I don't want to disparage anybody else's beliefs, and Chris, I know that I don't see it myself. I can't get it. I think it's a bit of nonsense, really. I mean, it sounds good though, doesn't it? But who actually where is the source of this information? That's what I want to know. Can you give me the source? Can you tell me who actually started talking about indigo children and what that actually means? I've never met anybody yet who can do that for me. I'd love it if they did. Right, Chris.
Susan says, I have noticed a number of mediumship classes online by some well-known mediums from TV.
Yeah, good.
What are your thoughts on these? They are usually Zooms with about 10 people or students.
I will not be giving any mediumship classes. Not likely, no. So there you have my thoughts on it. I do not believe that it's teachable, particularly online. I know that there are so many people who want to become mediums. I get it. I know that you want to do it and you want to learn how, but I will never ever give mediumship classes because I think it's I don't want to upset anybody else. I don't want to disparage other people. Maybe other people think it's a good idea. Personally, I think it's a really irresponsible idea, and there you have it. And I've said it now, so I've probably upset a dozen people, if not dozens of people. But I will not be giving mediumship classes. My classes are to raise your level of consciousness, to bring you to a state of understanding of your awareness, your spiritual awareness. I teach people how to get in tune with their sixth sense. That's not mediumship, my darlings. I'm not creating mini mediums. I'm creating beautiful people with beautiful, beautiful healing abilities, able to connect with their own soul, able to connect with their own spirit, and to grow on a spiritual level. So that's it, Chris. I'm done now. I'm upset. Oh gosh, I hate upsetting people, and I know people think, oh well, you know, she's saying this because it's sour grapes and all that. It isn't, honestly. It's just, please be responsible, everybody. Go, Chris.
Well, I also think some people just defined mediumship in different ways. So.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Okay, Chris.
Cheryl says, I'm leaving for 10 days to be with my sister.
Oh.
She just got out of the hospital. I'm hoping I can help her with healing. Maybe. Why am I supposed to be there?
Yes. You know you've got lovely little healing hands, and you know that your sister's going to benefit from that. Plus, you know, you are a person who is an action taker. Be careful, you know. I know that you love your sister. I know that she loves you, but, you know, when somebody's sick, they do need nurturing, but they don't necessarily need bossing. Just mentioning, Cheryl. I have a tendency to do the same thing. We're so nurturing and so caring in some ways that we tend to be a bit pushy sometimes. So, you know, don't be surprised if she sort of responds in a negative way occasionally, but you'll do a great job. You will. Chris.
Patricia from Italy's on. She said, I would like to tell some things that happened to me. A few days ago, my sister and I listened to a foreign voice in a vocal message in Witch app, and this morning I saw my dream catcher move alone. How can it be possible?
Stop using that stuff. You are opening yourself up. You're opening yourself up to outside influences. I know there are lots of apps about, oh, take this app, this will teach you how to do this will teach you how to do that. It's dangerous, to say the very least. It's like opening your door to a stranger, somebody you absolutely don't know. Oh, come in, sit down, and let's have tea, and I'll give you, why don't you stay for dinner and stay overnight? A total stranger. You could be murdered in your bed, right? Nobody's going to do that. So using these apps that all tell you, you know, I can show you how to, you know, do this and so on and so forth. It sort of puts it in your head, and it also is energy. You don't know what energy you're creating. It's a little bit like using a Ouija board or a planchette or something like that. If you don't know what you're doing with it, then it can be so dangerous, because you're literally saying to anybody who's out there, welcome, come on in. So I'm against these things, absolutely. If you must use them, make sure that you use these things with somebody who knows what they're doing, really knows what they're doing, who can protect you when it gets out of hand. So my advice to you is delete the app, is my advice. There you go, Chris. I'm upsetting everybody this morning. Oh my gosh. Sorry.
It's one of those shows today.
Yeah, apparently.
All right. Agnes is on. She says, please, can you give me your email again so I can contact you finally?
My darling, my email is Rosemary, Rosemary, Rosemary at Rosemary Altea, Rosemary Altea, .com. So Rosemary at rosemaryaltea.com. And Agnes, I'm looking forward to reading your email, my lovely.
She said, I always tune in here by surprise.
Oh.
I've read most of your books.
Oh.
When my husband died, it helped me to grieve. I'm still trying to focus on a candlelight. Now my relation is probably finished again forever, even though I feel still still strongly connected with my Irish boyfriend. I'm kind of heartbroken, still keeping the trust.
Keep the trust. It's not finished forever. Don't do that to yourself, my darling. The good things are coming. Don't worry. Good things are coming. Keep that trust. Hold on to that trust. Yep, Chris?
Joanne asks, are my mom and dad together after all these years?
I just said I'm not going to give glib answers, but I can tell you absolutely because Gregor has his hand on my shoulder, so I know. Do not worry. They are where they are meant to be, and sort of like that. So does that say that they're together? Your loved ones are happy and they are well and together. So please don't worry, my lovely. Yep.
Randy says, I mentioned before that I was thinking of Grey Eagle, and you mentioned that I was in contact with an emissary. Well, since then, I have opened up to the idea, and the wisdom information is flooding in.
Oh, Randy, lovely, lovely.
Darkthorn Roseheart says,
Gosh.
Hiya, honey.
Hiya.
It's Serena from Wales.
Hey, what do you mean, hiya, honey? We don't say honey in Wales, unless we're eating it. Hi, darling. How are you? Not sure you say darling either, but anyway, it's lovely to have you on the show.
She says, you're looking really well. I'm so glad. Love you loads.
Oh, who is this again?
Darkthorn Roseheart.
Oh, come on, give me your
Actually,
name.
I'm sorry. They said the name, Serena.
Serena, good morning, Serena. Thank you for that. And oh, I bet it's beautiful in Wales. I wonder which part of Wales you're in. You know, and like me, can you sing? You know, Welsh people, we have that mountain air, don't we? We build good lungs in our people. We have great lungs, great voices. Can you sing? Are you a member of a choir? Is it beautiful? Where are you in Wales anyway? Let us know. I'm always interested to find out more about people. Keep going, Chris.
Randy continued. He said, their name is Blue Saber. I kind of feel crazy, but the information has been very eye-opening and fulfilling.
Don't be crazy. Don't feel crazy, my darling. Well, actually, we all are a little bit crazy. You know, the nicest people are a little bit crazy. Did you know that? And if you're crazy, I must be crazy too, and I'm not only a little bit crazy. Right. Thank you for letting me know.
Susan says, or asks, is tarot opening in a potentially dangerous way? I'm learning tarot.
You've got to be really careful because before you start any of this stuff, you know, I know that people love their apps. So before you start any of this stuff, or before you start training for even for healing, for anything, any sort of anything that is, let's say, out of the ordinary, I always teach my students to say a protective prayer prior to, and we always say this protective prayer. So I'm going to say to all of you out there who want to learn and want to do this more, please say your protective prayer. Ask God and the universe to help guide you and to protect you and to make sure that all of the energy that is around you is positive energy, and that energy comes from the light and is of the light. And when you have said that protective prayer, please remember when you do what it is you're doing, always afterwards, please remember to close and to say thank you with your prayers. Say thank you for giving me this guidance and protection. And if you do that and you're careful and you don't get carried away by it and you remember your responsibilities, you should be fine. All right, Chris.
RT wants to know, hi guys, looking to move house. Anything please in that?
Absolutely, yes. Grey Eagle is nodding away here, so yes. I think it's, he tells me, I think it's an inevitable, so just take your time and don't be in a hurry. Just don't do it just to do it. Plan. make sure that you take good care, make sure that you move to a place that is right for you, that has the right kind of energy. You'll feel it anyway, but if you jump quickly, you could make a mistake. But it is inevitable. Moving is inevitable. Yeah, Chris.
Matilda says hello from overseas, the Netherlands.
Morning, Matilda.
I've read your book long ago. Glad to see you live.
Well, glad. Thank you. There's more than one book, by the way. So I'm not sure which one when you say I've read your book, I'm not quite sure which one it is. We had some guests here yesterday who they're friends of my daughters, and they came. We sat out in the garden. We ended up sort of having lunch, and then they were still here later on, and we ended up having dinner with them. And they didn't really know me at all, and they knew a little bit about what my daughter said about me. I think she said to them, "Oh, she's a medium, and what does anybody know about that?" We had such a great time. It was so good, so good. And then he went online to find my book, The Eagle and the Rose. I was so shocked at the price they're selling it for. First of all, I was so shocked. There was one. Where was it? I think it was on Amazon. $95 for a paperback book. Somebody is really ripping you all off. If you want the book, just email me, rosemary@rosemaryaltair.com. I think we sell it at something like $8 plus postage and packing. And wherever you are in the world, we'll send it to you. So I think these people that I met yesterday, they were so keen to get it. They bought it for $18.99 on Amazon. Somebody's ripping you off, everybody. And please note that somebody who's selling my books really is doing so illegally. So if you could all write to Amazon and say, hey, this is not Rosemary Altair selling this book, and it is actually my book, and I do own this book. So they're being very, very naughty. So if you want the book, I'll sell it to you for cheaper than they will. Trust me. $95 for An Eagle and the Rose. Maybe, I don't know, for a paperback, maybe it was signed. I'll sign it for free for you. There you go. Somebody's ripping you all off. It's disgraceful. Anyway, go ahead. Carry on.
Jay Evans says, hello, Rosemary.
Hi.
Thank you for your time and energy. Is my husband beginning his awakening?
Oh, gosh. Slowly, but yes. I hope that answers your question. And thank you for joining our show. Keep going, Chris.
Dark Thorn Roseheart is giving us the pronunciation of their name. Sharita.
Sharita? What a lovely name. Wow.
She's from Aberystwyth in the county of
Aberystwyth.
Ceredigion, maybe?
She'll never do it, will she? She'll never do it.
No, I never will. She's probably better off not even.
You would have been better just saying north, south, east, or west. We'd have got it. But what a beautiful name. Right.
She wanted to know, what is your opinion of EVPs? I don't know what
EVPs. I don't just spell it out for us. What's an EVP? It could be anything. Keep going. We'll wait for you to spell it out for us, and then I'll give you my opinion, my love.
And then RT responded, thank you so much. That's so right. I'm looking for a place that's healthy for me energetically.
Yes. That is the most important thing. And this is why I said to be very careful and don't jump in too fast. Make sure it feels right for you. Because I don't think where you are is actually a bad place, but I don't think it's right for you either. But just do be careful, my love. Yeah.
Jolie Voyager says, I strongly feel something or someone coming. Any thoughts?
Well, you mean coming into your life? What do you mean here? But, when we have these strong feelings, we have these, our senses tell us something. It is always important that we should listen to what we're feeling, what we're sensing. So, so I would say that if you feel this strongly, you need to be paying attention. Sometimes when somebody comes into our lives, they don't come in full throttle, they'll sort of come in from the sidelines. We don't always see what's in front of us. We don't always see what's to the side of us. So be aware, my darling. Just pay attention to what's going on with you. Next question.
So a few people have come back with the definition of EVP. It stands for electronic voice phenomenon.
Oh, that. Oh, right, yeah. What's my opinion? Years ago, mediums used to use the trumpet. It was an old-fashioned thing, and it was a sort of cone shape, narrow at one end and wide at the other, and they would use it in seances. And I've actually sort of been involved with this teeny bit in the early days because I'm fascinated by these things. Here's the thing with electronic stuff. It can be so manipulated by the person who's using it. And if that person who is using it is easily influenced, I've been on the receiving end of this. I was in Sarasota, and I went on we'll call it a ghost hunt because that's what you'll all understand. But I went into the, what's the name of it? Into the ring, the place where what's his name? I've forgotten his name. But anyway, I went ghost hunting in this very, very famous place, the Courtesan.
Ringling Brothers Circus.
It's called the Courtesan, where John Ringling and his wife lived. And oh gosh, that was fascinating. And I've been in there a few times. Maybe I'll tell you a story or two on Saturday about that. Can you make a note of that, Chris? The Ringling thing. Anyway, so and one time that I was in there, somebody invited these people who brought their machines and their recorders and all the rest of it and so on and so forth. And they came in, they did their thing, and then they, went away. And of course, they were very interested in me because I was actually talking to people in the spirit world. I was connecting with those people in the spirit world. So it was fascinating. But then they took all their machines back home with them and fiddled around, and then came back and said, oh yeah, we heard these voices. But when they played these voices back, there were nothing like what I'd heard. That doesn't mean they're wrong. It was just I didn't hear what they heard. And I prefer to do it my way because, when you're electronics, you can tweak it. You can make it sound anything you like. So I'm very cautious. Let me put it that way. I'm very cautious of those things. So that's my opinion. Yeah.
Cassie says, watched you on Lisa Gibbons' show in the 90s. Loved your tape, Give the Gift of Healing, in books. Still waiting for my appointment with you.
Oh. Have you booked an appointment? Because if you have booked an appointment, you should have heard from us. So please, if you haven't heard from us, please email again, rosemary@rosemaryautair.com, and I'm going to go into the emails later on and check out and see if I can find you in there, okay? All right.
Marlene's on. She said, Rosemary, my daughter's cat, who is 19 years old, is ill with kidney disease. She isn't doing well.
We're going to send her healing, but you do realize, don't you, that we could actually send her on her way much quicker because that's what healing is all about. If this little thing is suffering, then, healing will end that suffering. And, oh boy, this is going to be a tough time for you. 19 years. My Cachorro has been with me for 14 years. 14 years this month I've had that puppy. And I know he's on his way out, and I'm dreading it. I'm dreading it also because he's going to be the last ever puppy that I ever have. I've made that decision. We'll send him healing, my love. Please let us know. Email me. Let me know how he does, would you? Yes, keep going.
Yeah, she said she has an appointment today for the vet to put her down as she's only getting worse. She trusts your opinion. What should we do?
You're doing exactly the right thing. I've suffered with kidney issues since I was in my 20s, and actually before then, and not realizing it. I know how painful kidney issues can be, and if this puppy's having issues with their kidneys, then you cannot allow it to go on. I think you know that. So I'm all for it. We'll send her healing and send her on her way. Yeah, Chris.
Merce says, hello from the south of Spain.
Good morning. Or will it be good afternoon for you?
Operated on hip replacement on the 3rd. Am I doing well?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Operated on hip replacement on the 3rd. Am I doing well?
I'm asking Grey Eagle. I don't want to give you an answer that I'm not sure of, but not only are you doing well, you'll do fabulously. You're going to do fabulously. Try not to worry. We'll send you healing.
Alexandra asks, is everyone a healer, but some of us don't know it?
We all are born, that's a great question, Alexandra. We're all born with the gift to heal. When God threw us on this earth, so to speak, I don't really mean throw us, don't you? But when God put us on this earth, he did not leave us, didn't just drop us down here and say, okay, now get on with it. He gave us tools. He gave us things that we could understand. He gave us things that would help us. This is, part of the class that I teach. We have our mind, we have our soul, we have the heartbeat of the soul. We can listen to the voice of our soul if we know how. We have our 5 senses, which then become our 6th sense. We develop all of those things. So, God just didn't throw us down here and leave us, destitute and floundering. He gave us tools to help us. And that's what we need to use and we need to learn to use. What was the actual question, Chris? Forgot what the question is.
Well, because it comes in.
Oh, well, sorry. Yes, sorry. Yeah, I've got it. Thank goodness for Grey Eagle, because I'd lost the plot then for a minute. I suppose it's age, isn't it? Anyway, Grey Eagle says we are all born with that gift, and we're all born, a child falls and grazes its knee, and the mother scoops up the child. And what do? And not just a mother, a father, anyone. We scoop up the child and we touch the injured area and we say, let me rub it better. It's a natural response. What you're doing when you're rubbing it better is you're using your energy, enveloping the child with your energy, with your love, with that loving, healing energy, and you're making it better in some way or another. So it's a natural thing that we all do. We all have this, but some of us develop it. Some of us have more of a healing energy than others. There are some people that I can just look at and I think, wow, that he's got to be a doctor or a healer of some kind, or she has got to be, wow, because you can see the healing energy sort of literally pulsing out of them. And that could be because they were born with that intensity of healing, or it could simply be that they have worked at it and developed it. I have some healers in my class, and in fact one particular couple that were students of mine, he was the natural healer, without a doubt. He had this fabulous energy, without a doubt. That doesn't necessarily mean that he was a nice man or a kind man, but he did have this beautiful, strong healing energy. His wife just wanted to be a student because she wanted to do this with him. It was something they could do together. He just automatically assumed, hey, I'm good at this. She worked really hard at it. She became a much finer healer at the end of the day than he ever was. She put her work, her soul, her effort into it, and she developed her gift, patience and humility. She had, boundless humility, endless humility. She is just a lovely, lovely person. Eileen, I don't know if you're ever listening to this, but Sam's saying hello to you. Anyway, so just because you are a natural born healer doesn't mean that you're going to use your abilities in the right way or in a wise way. Chris.
Mariella says, excuse me, can you tell me about my son Giuseppe, who died at 23 years old by a car accident? It's been 15 years, and I would love to know something if someone did it on purpose to drop him. This is translated.
Yeah. I'm listening to Grey Eagle here. This is a very tricky one. I can tell you that he's well. Scratch that. I can tell you that he's safe. I'm coming from Grey Eagle. I can tell you that he's safe. I can tell you that he's well. If you want to know more information or you want to go into more detail, we don't have the time here, but if you email me or if you want a consultation with me, email me, rosemary@rosemaryantaylor.com, and we can sort something out for you. But don't worry, he is safe. Chris?
Pam says, I'm in Ottawa, Canada. I saw you in Cornwall at a women's conference.
Oh, gosh.
Concerns regarding my 18-year-old son, Liam, and his well-being, mental health. Do you or Grey Eagle have any insight?
Patience is all you can have in this situation. And finding people who are right for him and right to help him and also to help you to deal with this situation. This is becoming such a common issue right now, and you do need some help. Please email me. I don't know of anyone I do actually know a brilliant healer in Canada. She happens to be a student of mine, Karen, and I don't know how far she is from you, but I can put you in touch with her if you'd like to. So please email me, rosemary@rosemaryantaylor.com, and let me know if I can help you in any way. Certainly, darling, I will try my very best.
Mickey says, I have emailed to set up a booking to talk to you. How can I set one up? I need help talking to my mom. I have a rescue critter that just had surgery. She is very mad at me. Will she heal in this side and forgive me?
Oh, darling, nobody's going to be blaming you for this at all. You sound lovely. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep healing. Keep helping. As healers, though, what we must always remember is if we're doing it for the right reasons, we're not looking for gratification. We're not looking for someone to say, well done you. We're simply using our energy and giving of our energy. And this critter, as you call it, spits and snarls and what have you, and doesn't seem appreciative. Isn't that okay? Because you're going to do it anyway, aren't you? So, if you would like a consultation, I will tell you all exactly what you need to do. You need to email me, rosemary@rosemaryantaylor.com. If you put in the subject line, consultation, and then Michelle will get to you. She will send you all of the information, everything that you need to do to have a consultation with me, and then if you write back and say, okay, I agree to these terms or whatever it is, then she'll set you up an appointment. It is really very simple. It's a very simple process. So just email me, write consultation, say to Michelle, I need a consultation with Rosemary, or can you tell me more about what I have to do for a consultation? And she'll send you all of the information that you need to proceed. Chris?
So I just want to let you know you're over the time now.
I was just going to say, how are we doing for time? Because I know it's tricky for you too, right?
Yeah. I think we have time for a couple more questions. So Tracy's on.
Good morning, Tracy.
She says, hi, Rosemary. Do you see a relationship coming soon for me?
Not as soon as you would like, and I can say that with absolute, because Grey Eagle is right here with me on this, but you need to change or to expand your friendships. You need to find perhaps new people or different people. You need to be involved in good things. So maybe, sort of joining a theatre group, or maybe a choir, or maybe, I don't know, whatever it is that you'd like to do, a walking club or something. You need to get yourself out there, my darling, and you will find what you're looking for, but you've got to start looking in the right places. Yes, Chris.
I passed by the name, unfortunately, but they want to know if you're writing a new book soon.
Yes, I was supposed to be doing it while I was here, and of course I've been caught up with Reese's piano lessons and reading and stuff and summertime. But yes, I am working on Great Eagle Speaks. That will be the title of the book, and it will be his words of wisdom. And it's it'll be the best book ever, I can promise you. Somebody read it, an agent of mine a few years ago wanted me to sort of get on with it and do it then. She read it and she said it was like eating soft, melty, delicious chocolate every time she read what he had to say. So it's coming, this lovely, lush, delicious, chocolatey, delicious book, Great Eagle Speaks. I'm going to try and get it out. I shan't get it out this year, but maybe next year. So keep watching for that. But have you read A Walk in the Clouds in the meantime? And if you haven't read A Walk in the Clouds, which is my latest book, you can email me. In fact, here's the deal, because we are closing now. If you want to know more about my books, if you want to know more about my meditation, guided meditations, if you want to know more about our webinars, and so on and so forth. If you would like to go to Facebook and look for our, we have a, what is it called, Chris, at the moment? We have a poll going to see what subjects people...
A survey.
We have a survey going to see what subjects people would like on the webinars. If you want to know more about any of what I do, or consultations, or healing, or whatever, email me, rosemary@rosemaryataltair.com. Put your, the subject, make sure you sort of, if it's healing, if it's books, if it's whatever it is, because it helps us to sort through them quicker. And we shall answer you. If you haven't had an answer to your email within a week, keep emailing again and again and again, because those emails should be answered every week. So please, don't think we've forgotten you. It's just we might be a bit overwhelmed. So anything you want to know about anything about me, email me, rosemary@rosemaryataltair.com, and we'll let you know. That's it for today. Thank you so much. I know that there's tons of questions we didn't get to. If you want to have those questions answered again, you can email them to me, and we'll make sure that we sort of attack those questions first next time around. I will be here on Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 11 a.m. New York time, or it's 5 p.m. London time. I think I've got that right. And the rest of the world, you have to sort it out yourselves, I'm afraid, because I can't go there. My mind would be so boggled. But anyway, it's Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. on Saturday morning for story time. We're going to have a fabulous story time this Saturday. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to tell you, but we've got a good story for Saturday. And you will also have an opportunity to be asking questions, and I shall answer them as best as I can for you all. So in the meantime, we shall be here next Thursday, same time, same place. We'll be on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, wherever we can get, we should be there. And I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to your questions. I have to say, I do so appreciate you all. Thank you so much for supporting us and being here and making this show a fabulous and an enjoyable one. So please have a very, very blessed rest of the day. I'd like to say thank you to Great Eagle for being there with us as always. Chris, thank you very much for your time and your energy helping us with the questions, because I couldn't do it by myself. And thank all of you once again for participating in this show. And I shall see you all again, if not on Saturday, hopefully next Thursday morning. And email me, be put on the emailing list, because we are going to be doing other shows. We are going to be doing other things as well. So have a very, very blessed rest of the day, everybody. I'm going to design a garden today for my daughter's neighbours. We're going to be working on designing a garden for New York City. Never done that one before, but I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you then. Bye.